Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be doing another emergency video because I know a lot of you want an overall market update in terms of, everything that's been happening over the last few hours, mainly last 12 hours. We have seen a lot of price action, ladies and gentlemen. And, I did think we were going to hold maybe maximum go below 89,000 just for a sweep, but we actually did go all the way down to $86,000. Now, I will say the most important thing this week is to see how the candle closes. Okay. It is very, very crucial to see how it closes because then we have to analyze if this candle closes extremely bearish, right? Extremely bearish. Are we going to get a case where it's something like, closes somewhere here, retest, and then continues, going further down, right? Going further down, something like this. Or is this a case of manipulation where we wick, take out liquidity, and go up? We've seen this in the past, ladies and gentlemen, right? We've seen this multiple times. And you got to remember, everyone thought everything was going to be over during these times as well, right? I remember vividly, everyone was panicking once, we kind of wicked and started to sell off. People thought this was the end, especially when we were during this price action. And then the same thing was happening, you know, during times like this. Every time price has dipped a little bit or a lot, even, everyone thought it was over. My personal scare was this one right over here, right? But then I saw how things recovered just, 1 or 2 days later. I saw the weekly candle was, and I was like, okay, we're fine. But in those couple of hours, I was like, is there a chance I could have been wrong about everything? But I was like, no, I'm going to wait to see how everything closes because the candle closes are more important than the price action happening in the moment. Okay. Because we can see, right? If Bitcoin was down here and you panic sold everything, things would have recovered, Bitcoin would have recovered like $10,000 in just a couple of days. And then, we would have seen better price action over the next couple of weeks, generally speaking. And then, 2, 3 months later, Bitcoin's already back to 60s, 70s, and eventually expands, right? So, these moments are to pretty much flush out people. Um, and, that is why I'm just going to be observing this. In terms of my trade, right? I said, guys, you'll be taking this trade. I took something like this yesterday where it was somewhere roughly around like this. I forgot exactly what it was, but I saw price action and I didn't like it. I did not like the price action we were having yesterday, right? We tapped into the area, then we were kind of weak. I just pretty much cashed out at break even, and I'm so happy I did because when I went to bed and I woke up, Bitcoin was down a lot. So, you know, price action never lies. Now, I do think we will actually be going a little bit lower. I do think since we're already here, I do believe we will be taking out this liquidity of $85,000. The price action over here does not look strong at all. If we wanted to see better signs of reversals, we would have to see more and more sideways movement, break of structure, retest, and then continuation to the upside. But as of right now, the data doesn't really suggest that. Obviously, things can be different in a day or two. So right now, I'm really, really looking for another sweep. And after that sweep, if we have a very, very strong bounce back, the way we did at 92,000, right? We went to 92,000, went a little bit lower, and then pretty much what a couple of hours later, almost a day later, we actually rebounded $10,000. So that is what I'm going to be looking for, and seeing how price is going to react off of this area. Now some people think this is over, right? And you're you can think that if you want, and I understand it's a fair thing to think about because I understand price is down a lot. Some people were more optimistic that we were going to be exploding faster, more consistently. And I won't lie, in terms of timings, I did think, we would be already kind of just blasting off, especially ever since we went to 92K. I really thought, we have like a break of structure, we hold, and then we eventually start going up like this. But then price action was suggesting that no, there's going to be more and more delays, and we could see, we went further down. Now, when am I personally going to hang up the towel? Well, ladies and gentlemen, for me, it's never really, because the reality is, even technically, if we were going to go down to somewhere, let's say here, this is technically still bullish structure on the higher time frame, right? If we had something like this, hypothetically, we could see that. if we take the marker like this, we have these lows, we have these highs, we go back. If we create nice, very solid, lows here, and then go up like this and create like this, it is structured to the upside. It's just very annoying because it would take many more months to develop, right? We had this sideways movement where we were retesting off of these tops, right? We were retesting off of these tops, and it had to happen because we needed to confirm the roof is going to become a floor, and then we expanded, right? It is also why I don't think we will have very, very deep retracements. We could go technically back down to 70, like to 73,000 in the most fundamental way, in terms of literally, you know, support and resistance, right? Technically, if we do something like that, it can go down all the way. I just don't think now is going to be the time for it to happen. So, you know, we'll see if my bias is right or wrong. Obviously, I want it to be right so things can reverse quicker. I will say though, for the optimistic side, ladies and gentlemen, you know, some coins didn't really dump that hard. Like look at something like Turbo, right? We go to something like Turbo, ladies and gentlemen. We can see Turbo is actually at a similar price it was at when Bitcoin was mid 90s. So, you know, it is holding strong. It is holding very strong. We pretty much went to the zones we were expecting, generally speaking, over the last few weeks. Same thing with ICP, right? ICP into our zone. XRP, we did say, it's going to most likely take out all of these lows, or sorry, all of these over here. And it did just that. And now we're here. Kaspa, same thing, went a little bit lower, but that's fine. You could have got a great price at 9 cents. Something like Rndr did go a little bit lower, but generally speaking, a lot of the coins are still holding, right? A lot of the coins are still holding very, very great price. They have great price action. Something like Ondo has already come back, right? It took out this bottom and now it's recovering. Obviously, if things go down a little bit more to like 85K, we could see a little bit more retracement. But the positive is that Bitcoin dominance is dumping and saving us, because if last time what really caused the big altcoin spike, ladies and gentlemen, or altcoin dump, was we had certain Bitcoin price action, right? Bitcoin went from whatever it was to 92,000. So Bitcoin dumped, which is bad for us. And Bitcoin dominance went up, which was bad for us. These two at the same time, right? They cause double the amount of loss. When Bitcoin goes down, but Bitcoin dominance also goes down, that means, yes, Bitcoin's bleeding, but that means altcoins are actually holding fairly strong. Okay. So that is something to take into consideration. I do expect things to bounce back overall, generally speaking. If we do get a bigger structure on the Bitcoin dominance, which we would have to, look at a higher time frame, this could be the start of the reversal for altcoin season. And I would be really surprised, but we could eventually technically see, Bitcoin dominance go down all the way here. Maybe Bitcoin go down to a good amount. Altcoins rise. I don't think this is going to be it. I think it's still going to happen in a couple months. If anything, it's going to be more delayed than it happening earlier, but we will continue to monitor everything. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.